So last time that we gathered around the table, so to speak, you all had continued your delve into the hot springs here. You had awoken the ire of these two red sloths in which you kind of engaged in this tight melee in between the intersections of a very large watery cavern and a smaller one that you guys had previously exploded using some of your homemade dynamite. With the combination of Scylla, Weth, and eventually Artomis and Sephel getting up in there, you all managed to dispatch the two sloths pretty quickly. However, there was a very interesting event of Scylla being thrown into the tadpole-infested spring, to which they catapulted themselves out with a wonderful use of wall of water or water wall. Is that correct?
Yeah, sure. Water wall.
I like how you tapped your forehead there, like, yeah, that's smart.
My water wall.
I don't actually know.
And after the bodies of the sloths had fallen, Artemis, in the act of what looked like was going to dispatch Scylla, used Dawn's Edge to cure them of the sloth infestation or disease. And as you guys kind of were exploring the perimeter and figuring out how best to destroy this sloth-infested tadpole, which Sephel did with, I think, a burning hands, was it? Or was it even... Yeah.
It was burning.
You set the whole pool alight, and some of the slime that had kind of gathered on the surface burned all the way into the far back southeast corner to reveal a cavern opening, to which Starcaller remembers from his times down here before leads to another much larger cavern, kind of the main spring. But before you guys continued on, you sent Thurda, the Platinum Talon that had been moving with you guys through these areas, to go back to inform the king of what was kind of going on. And as they went away, Starcaller noticed that their footsteps disappeared rather quickly, and kind of going back to investigate to see if something else had happened. As they had reached the other cavern, they heard this odd noise, and to look up and see this pale, albino, amphibious kind of creature with these razor teeth and this long tongue, and they pushed a couple boulders down, blocking the way. And from that corner you guys had opened before through the flames, a pair had come forth and have now retreated back into the tunnel. And here you guys stand. What do you want to do?
Well, we think... I mean, it sounds like we kind of all agree Thurda's probably not alive on the other side of that wall, right?
You don't know?
I think it highly unlikely.
Okay.
Is it... would it be worth trying to... how... Are they just, like, large... like a number of large boulders, or is it more like a rock slide collapse?
Make an investigation check.
Okay.
Or perception, if anybody wants to help out with this kind of a thing.
I'll help him size him up if I can give him some advantage.
Sure.
I will take advantage. Okay, first roll was better. Thanks for nothing, Andrew. 21 on the
You're looking at this collection of rocks that have come down, and while there's a handful of larger boulders, there is a smattering of smaller stuff to kind of wedge in between. And this particular one that they had closed off was not very large to begin with. And you actually find that there is a small gap in one where you can see kind of through the smoky haze that fills the other room still. You can see a little bit of the other side, and you can hear what sounds like splashing footsteps running back until you see Thurda appear, and they're like, what's happened? What? And they're starting to like claw at the rocks and stuff like that.
Little bit of a cave-in. Be careful if you would. There are some...
Where are you? Are you...
I'm on the other side of the... down here. And I, like, wiggle a finger through the... I don't know.
Let's get. Do you stick like a long tentacle through?
Yeah,
Just like.
I'll like shove the butt end of my staff through like. Dude, look for the stick.
Thirda like is right over the hole as you do that, and it just like gets her in the eye, and she's like,
Oh god.
Yes,
Sorry.
found you.
Sorry.
God, what? I literally just started running down the hall.
As I was saying, there are some amphibious creatures somewhere. I think they were on our side, but they were also on your side. There might be multiple of them. Look out for strange red, frog-looking.
You should run faster.
Yeah, you should probably go.
Dude,
You
Was it
probably
the-
should not be on the side alone.
was it the Grung? They live down here. They had connections.
The grung.
The frog people that live amongst us, you asshole.
Maybe, I don't know. Do I know what a grung is?
Yes, you've actually seen them amongst the city.
The fuck's a grung?
It's the frog people. They're the ones who helped us find and restore the hot springs to a wonderful place that we can use. Never mind that. Was it them? Green, kind of, perhaps they're tallest like 3 feet, or was it a bullywug? Was it one of the bullywug?
No, not one of the bullywug. It was, if it was a grung, it was very pale.
Pale.
Yes.
All right. Well,
Perhaps corrupted grung?
I
Hey.
have no idea.
Well, did I see them? Because I feel like I have some knowledge of watery people.
Yeah, you guys definitely spotted the couple that had come out from the other tunnel to the southeast for sure. So roll me a nature check.
Yeah, it's like I'm wondering if like if they felt like they were definitely like odd.
Give you-
It's a 17.
I'm gonna give you advantage on this, just because this is kind of your wheelhouse.
It's a 17, so thanks for that, Will.
Okay, you're welcome. Always happy to help.
Pretty sure it was a 17 before, too. Well, you know.
You definitely think that it was a type of grung. However, it seemed deformed in a way. They don't normally have this pale skin and these glowing red eyes, nor do they have this type of like teeth or almost senseless like minds to them. You know, they're fairly intelligent creatures. They have a very odd kind of system, but that was definitely a type of grung for sure.
I would have to agree with Starcaller. The individuals here were grung, but also not. Pale, red eyes, and clearly of a unhappy disposition, as they did cave in the wall.
Yes, I believe, Thirda, you should stick to our original plan. Get back to King Balitaire. Let him know what has happened so far. We will do our best to either hold this area or perhaps push in deeper, as the case may be. But I think it may take quite some engineering to clear this rubble that we may be too pressed to take advantage of.
All right, I'll make great haste, and I hope to be back soon with the king and in more arms. Good luck. And they once again take off. And here you guys are, kind of locked into this cavern. What do you want to do?
I will say, if we wanted to leave, we do have one more stick of dynamite, but that did come in handy for other means.
Sure, we don't exactly know what is... It is quite obvious that we have not completed our mission down here. We don't know what's left.
Mm-hmm.
And any fire that doesn't take my resources is more than welcome. And if we need to retreat, throwing a bomb into a room is never a bad idea.
I agree.
Many people of my disposition do it with magic anyway, so...
Stool pipes up in all of your minds, and he's like, well, perhaps we could see what's in the other rooms, and if everything is not well and we don't like what we could see, perhaps we do what the grung did and blow a hole in the tunnel so they can't get us.
It is possible, Stu, though not preferable. That larger cavern could be quite useful to the king if we were able to recover it. I'm of kind of a split mind here. We, on one hand, could stay and recover and wait for reinforcements, but we would always have to be looking over our shoulders at that passageway. I would be happy to kind of sneak ahead while whoever discovered us has only just, run back before they can form a plan of their own, at least see what we're up against.
As of right now, we still have some advantage the more time we give them to recuperate. And, I mean, if that room, or whatever lies beyond, is all that's left, everything that they have to throw at us will be in one place. I feel like maybe we should spend as little time as possible resting. Regain as much as we can in as little time as we can, but we should continue moving.
Agreed.
Okay.
Starcaller, whenever you decide to scout ahead, would you like to take this with you? And she holds out the shrieker whistle. Just in case you need to get a hold of us quickly.
No. Couldn't hurt, I suppose. Yes. I'll take the whistle.
Okay.
Should I press on now and then be back quickly, or did y'all want some time to recuperate first?
I think it makes more sense for us all to take a short rest together before this.
Yeah, I can get away with a short rest. I won't have a whole lot at my disposal, but I'll have enough.
If you don't want a short rest, that's different.
No, a short rest is certainly good for me.
There's so much aggression in that.
If you don't want if you don't want hit points and some resources back, I guess that's fine.
Yeah, you want to lose another character? Gosh.
If you're just trying to Rolodex through, my guy. He's like, I gotta get rid of this backlog of character sheets, man.
Yeah, I have a lot of options.
I gotta try everything.
That's a good idea. Let's post up for an hour and then scout ahead after that.
Perfect.
Okay. As you guys are kind of settled down into this rest, what do you guys do during your short rest? And feel free to roll hit die for anybody that needs to. But what does each of you, because I don't think we've actually really taken a short rest, what do you do in this time?
For Scylla, I think she's still, she had started carving Indigo's names on that tooth, and I think she's still working at that.
Okay. So you settle down, you start carving some more names into Ront's old tooth.
Orcish shrimp jaw. I think Artomis is like taking a moment for himself and just kind of like posted up towards the back, and just has the Gauss ballista ready, like eyes like always on that hallway, with a back to something solid.
Okay, so are you kind of sticking to the north westerly position that you're in, or are you going to the southeast corner where that tunnel is?
I'm thinking like still towards the northwest where we are, near that passageway where we came through and had our kind of bottleneck moment.
Sure. What about Sephel?
Sephel is going to continue his grounding exercise that he developed earlier, which is just, opening up just to some random page in his spell book and going through his glossary of arcane runes, sort of regrounding himself in each arcane rune and its meaning and the ways that he uses it. Sort of like not a confidence boost, but continued understanding of his arcane knowledge that is somewhat peaceful to him.
Sure. The three of you see Weth is kind of like a little bit slower, but they have this impatient pacing going on, kind of moving up and down the sides of this large pool in here, while Stool is, I imagine, kind of sitting next to Scylla, just now that the waters seem ever so slightly clearer, there's the occasional charred body of a slawed tadpole going by. He just like kicks it away with his feet. He's just watching Scylla carve and kind of asks, Scylla, why are you carving into that tooth?
Is this stool?
Yeah.
Okay.
I know, the voice has changed so many times.
No. I mean, honestly, it tracks. He's like telepathic. What's a voice when you can be inside someone's head? Well, and she'll like show stool. This is something given to me by Indigo. And well, I don't know about you, but their death feels unresolved.
Yeah, it kind of does. I don't actually know what unresolved mean. What does that mean?
Oh, it is like when you go to write some. Do you write?
No.
You go
I've
to
seen
speak.
you do it.
You go to speak a sentence, and someone's about to say something really exciting, and then they just stop. It's like that.
Wow. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Yeah, his death's very unresolved.
Yes, I suppose this brings some sort of ending in a way. I'm not quite sure, but for now, it brings me some peace.
And what are the things you're carving into it?
Yes, Indigo was many things, and my people often create titles for those whom they care for, and that is what I have included here. The many things that Indigo was known for.
Wow. I'm sure he'd appreciate that. He was always putting stuff in his book.
Yes.
That's really thoughtful of you. I'm sure he'd appreciate that. He's just kind of staring. You think he's staring at the pool, like the skull and his large, now kind of golem-ish body is just there. What's up, Sephel?
Well, I'm sorry. Stool doesn't have any hands, right? Or he does now?
He has these large arms, but not like really dexterous fingers of a sort. They're just big, beefy, like fists.
I think Scylla's been working on this for a while, right? I think she's probably like almost done. And I think she would thread it through and tie it around Stool's neck.
They can't really look down because they don't have a neck, but they're like, is this a gift?
Well, yes. You may keep it and do with it as you wish, and maybe it will bring you peace.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I'm sure Indigo wouldn't mind if you stabbed someone with it, if you need to.
Oh. I don't know if I could really grip it, and he like brings up his large hand and tries to get like his fingers to like clench around it, but it's just too big to like reach something so small compared to him. He's like, I'll try. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Brendan, you looked like you wanted to say something. What's up?
I think at a certain point, well, so while Sephel was sort of grounding himself and going over these runes, I think at one point he sort of like brings his spider out of his cloak and like onto his shoulder, and the spider almost looks like it's looking over the runes as intently as he was. And if he sort of, overhears, and there have been a couple of times where people in the room have started talking about Indigo. And as uncomfortable as the topic may be, I think he stops at the mention, like perks up to it, just doesn't like show that he's paying attention, but just sort of listens. And before he closes his book, just sort of like shares a glance with the spider, like there's some sort of secret that only he knows.
Arachnos is kind of with his skeletal like spider face is looking at you.
I don't think they'd get it. But in time. Away with you.
Chittering its little spidery minarets together.
And like tuck the spider back into his cloak.
Oh wait, no! Not again!
I will destroy you!
I was not ready! The Bagman!
He never cleans this thing!
Back into the abyss. Nice. Starcaller, as you're resting, what is your passive perception? I think I asked you just last episode.
Oh, all good. That's the 14.
14. As you're kind of resting up here, you hear faint kind of, it sounds like almost like gurgling noises and like wet slaps, almost of like a foot on some kind of wet stone. And you're looking around and you see Weth pacing back and forth. They seem to be calming themselves down after the fight that you were just in and the ruckus of, the boulders collapsing. And you think it's not them. They seem to be treading kind of more solidly than this. And as you're looking around, you notice, and you've seen these before, that kind of spider... not spider-webbed, but pocketed. Amongst the ceiling of the cavern, there are small holes, as this was once a magma chamber of sorts. And as you're looking up, you see more of that kind of like green filth has kind of spilled out some of these different holes. And you see pairs of red eyes appear, and they seem to be just like peeking out at you from all sorts of different holes. And as you look up and you make eye contact with one, it disappears and you hear that wet slapping. You see more of them, and you think it's those grung, and they seem to just be watching you.
My friends, we are not alone here in this chamber. And I'll give them a nod up towards the ceiling.
Do you think there's fear that they will attack, or are we simply a spectacle to them?
I think they very much have the high ground if they were to, assail us with blow darts or arrows. It may behoove us to move our plans along. The best we can hope to is that they're here to watch a show. But unfortunately, we are that show.
Can I get a sense of like, are they on the other side of the cavern?
They're in all sorts of different places, right above you, a little bit farther away, to the sides. Do you guys all watch the Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull? Did you guys watch that?
No, I blocked it out.
Unfortunately.
No, I certainly watched it.
Fair enough. There's that moment towards the end of the film where it's all the indigenous members of that tribe protecting the city and stuff like that, and you see them moving through the stonework and like their eyes are appearing. It's very similar and reminiscent of that. They're just watching you. They're in all sorts of different locations. One minute you see a pair of like glowing red dots, and the next thing you know, they're gone. But they're never in a continuous place for very long.
Perhaps we stick to the... We don't want to be too out in the open, I think. But we should all continue.
Yes, well, would you like me to still attempt to steal ahead, or should we just move as one body now that we are watched?
I don't think there's much stealth involved in what we do next. Our
Agreed.
presence is very well known. Let us stick together.
Very well. And stay close, my friend. And Starcaller's gonna put, affix a shield to one hand and half Dawn's Edge on the other. Let's go.
Will, just for honesty in your tracking, during the short rest, I used my arcane recovery to regain one of my 3rd level spell slots.
Great. You guys, I hope you've all marked that you got a short rest. I will say that you had the time to do so. For Sam, does that mean you get your like superiority die and that kind of stuff back?
Yes.
Or is that just a long rest? Nice. Okay. All right. Well, what's the marching order here? How's the approach? It sounds like Artomis is kind of in the lead here, slightly scouting ahead.
I think I'd like to take up the rear.
Okay.
Yes, sandwich the wizard.
Yeah, I'd probably like walk backwards almost.
Okay. Weth will kind of stand guard over Sephel after seeing everybody kind of line up, and Stool will be behind them. So Sephel is truly in the midst.
Is there anything we'd like to do to perhaps stop them from caving in this tunnel as we enter? Is there anything we could do?
Make perception checks as you're approaching that area.
It's cocked. Ugh, 6.
Weak.
Dirty 20.
A 14 over here.
Okay. You all manage to deduce that as you're approaching, and you can see into kind of the tunnel beyond, that doesn't seem to be anything set up to collapse here. So if they were going to do it, they would have to have some kind of large force capable of collapsing or destroying the bedrock, very similar to you guys have with the dynamite. But otherwise, it doesn't seem like it's been trapped in any such way.
As we get over closer to the new entryway, I'd like to use a divine sense to see if there's any celestial fiends or undead within 60 feet of that opening.
Okay, you cast out your divine sense, and you feel a handful of pinpricks moving and wavering about on your senses. And as you look back behind you, you still see the red eyes, and you realize that these grungs have become fiendish in some sort of way. But they're the only pings within 60 feet that you feel.
Artemis is gonna kind of nod and look back towards Sephel and kind of whisper, "We may soon be entering the domain of the Emperor of Filth. Be at your guard."
It's not the demon I would have liked to face first, but my first choice would have been none of them.
I'm wondering if perhaps are we setting ourselves up for an ambush from the front and the back?
Are you suggesting that we ourselves block the way back?
Perhaps.
I would point out that then we would be trapped in the depths of filth indefinitely. We do not know what. I guess Sephel and I have seen some of the disgusting ichor pouring forth from this creature's domain, and it may not be healthy for us to stay there indefinitely. Perhaps as a final concession to our defeat, but I would say no sooner. I don't want to be trapped in there.
I don't wanna.
Someone a little
It's
skirt?
so bad.
I don't like it.
My concern, and why I do not think we should fight the red-eyed grung behind us, is that they seem to have already lived here. Perhaps they can be helped. So let's just continue.
Aye. Very well. And I'll continue on.
Okay. It's time to move you guys to a new map. And as you venture in a little bit, Starcaller, you're in the lead here. You recognize this division in the way here. You see, the one that proceeds to the east goes to a very small chamber of a hot spring pool. And then the one that goes to the north leads to the much larger cavernous space. And I'm going to have you all do perception checks again.
19.
19. Very nice.
That's a natural 19.
3.
Also a 19.
Weth got a 24, and Stool got a 20. Collectively, that's enough for you all to hear what sounds like a low, faint voice in the distance. And Starcaller, you being out front, you can kind of pick it up. It seems to have like this almost rhythmic, deep chanting to it. Just and you assume that someone's got to be up there speaking something, but you don't recognize it from this distance.
Excellent. I'll give a nod to my compatriots and gesture to the north before continuing.
Okay. Oh, that is hide. Come on, roll 20. Help me. Go ahead and let's move some tokens, please.
Alrighty. Moving on up.
As you enter into this very, very large space, you see before you in this cavern that stretches easily 200 feet wide and perhaps 100 to 120 feet across. You see that there are 2 smaller swampy pools that kind of have that same similar rhythmic bubbling to it of the tadpole pools that you had seen before. And beyond that, you see through this humid haze of filth and kind of moisture, you see a much larger pool with 4 very large bluish crystals peeking out from the midst of it. You, Starcaller, recognize this as the central pool that everybody likes to go to and kind of bathe in the natural crystal light. Standing about almost 80 feet away, you see that there appears to be a hunched back figure kind of shrouded by this fog that almost seems to dwell in here. But now the chanting is much easier to hear. And you see this one particular figure kind of standing towards the edge of the pool. They have a staff in one hand. Their arms kind of up and outstretched. This chanting continues. What do you guys do?
Do they see us at all?
You don't believe that they do see you. Seems like they haven't detected you yet.
And can I make out anything that they're saying? Do I understand even what language that could be?
What languages you got?
Common, Draconic, Lean isn't Undercommon?
You don't recognize it. However, you guys are able, or if you want to, you can make intelligence arcana checks to kind of figure it out. I was way off with my distance. It's 55 feet. Thank you for using the ruler. They are 55 feet away from Starcaller.
Clever. Yeah, I'll take an intelligence check there. It's
Okay.
not my best. Well, that's 16.
16? You're not sure what language this is, but it sounds very old. You, Sephel, feel like you've heard this before. So if you want to make this check,
primordial.
It's not primordial. I'll give you advantage on this if you want to roll this check. Scylla, you as well. An intelligence arcana check.
Arcana. Okay.
With advantage?
Yep, because you've both heard it before.
Okay. 24 for
Very
Arcana.
nice.
12.
12, okay. Scylla, it takes you a moment more, but you do recognize it, and Sephel, you're instantly like, oh, shit.
Oh, wait, I speak Primordial.
It's not primordial.
Oh, sorry. God damn it. I'm so sorry. God damn it.
She knew. She just wanted to ruin my moment. She
I
like.
swear I'm here.
All right, shut down the episode. It's clear. Nobody
all
wants to
record
record
it out
out
of
of
I
here.
don't know how you
guys.
get your moments to fail. Let me just mute up.
We have lives and then we record. It's great.
No, this is good. Sephel, you're immediately like, oh shit. This is abyssal. You heard this
shit.
coming from the very mouth of Demogorgon.
Oh fuck.
Spaghetti.
Scylla,
We were just
you-
looking for the bathroom.
What is Scylla?
you recognize this too because you heard Dagon speaking it
Mm.
amongst the waters of the deep, deep dark lake.
I think Scylla would very quickly whisper to everyone, I've heard this before. This is the language when Dagon appeared.
You're speaking abyssal.
I can get someone in with me close to this creature. Do we want... I don't want to wait.
No, we should stop this now. There doesn't seem to be anything bigger in the room.
Cool. I'm gonna try to sneak on up there. If I could.
I will wait for the signal, Starcaller.
I'll nod, and I'm gonna flip up my cloak, and I'm gonna attempt to sneak up behind him.
Okay. Make a stealth check.
I want to stand within touching distance of Weth.
Yep. Okay.
This is good.
If I-
That is a 25.
Ooh.
Nice.
What were you gonna say,
While
Brendan?
he's sneaking up too, I would like to sort of skirt around up this like western wall here.
Okay.
Try to get some vantage. What is this? Is this
That
like a
is a-
mushroom or something?
No, that is a stalagmite. Anywhere you see kind of these dark, purplish, rock-like protrusions, those are stalagmites, and they can offer cover.
Okay, that's great. Then I will actually post up behind that.
Okay. Since you are moving, I need you to roll a stealth check.
Okay.
Weth, as Starcaller's moves forward a little bit, probably about 10 feet forward, but then kind of crouches low, understanding that what's happening here is kind of a strategic assault. And then Stool kind of gets up behind them.
How close can I get, Will? Like my movement in a dash. What were we thinking here?
Go ahead and move your 30 feet. Let me roll to see if this person perceives you. You got a 24, correct?
25, and small point of order. I do have a 35 movement speed.
Okay, yeah, you can move that as much as you want. Yes, this figure does not notice you as you get 35 feet closer. They continue to chant. And as you get closer, you see this kind of hunched back figure. You recognize them by their upswept eyebrows, their larger amphibian form. This is someone you have seen on and off. It is one of the elders of the Bullywug people that has often been in communique, even at the Coalfire Keep with the king. And you had just seen them the other day at the castle amongst the group that had been speaking to the king and queen moments before you, Sephel, Scylla had come, before you had come in with their grander welcome to the greater city. This is Elder Horndye.
Intrigue
And
is
the fact
afoot.
that they're here is extremely surprising.
Surprising, and I dare say suspicious.
I have conspiracy theories.
I want to get closer.
Okay. Yeah. Roll another stealth check.
Can I ready an action in the event that bad shit happens?
Sure. What do you want to do?
In the event that Artemis is seen, I would like to use my cloak to cast Dimension Door and teleport me and Weth next to the Elder.
Okay. All right. So you kind of grab a hold of your cloak, kind of. I imagine you're putting like a hand on Weth, like,
Yeah.
or hovering
Like,
nearby.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. What'd you get there, Starcaller?
24.
24. Okay. You are capable, should you choose to get right behind them. They are so deeply entranced. You see them starting to move kind of rhythmically in this odd dance. Their staff, there seems to be like kind of these gourds hanging from it, and you can hear it shaking. It's almost rain stick esque, and they're moving, and you can see there's markings upon the ground in the same kind of filth that you had seen in the city above.
Ooh, excellent. Yep. I would like to get right up behind him, and with the unpleasant smell entering my nostrils, I go from capture to kill protocol, and I'd like to make my attacks.
Okay, go for it.
All right. First one at advantage since I'm unseen.
Yep.
All right. Oh my. That's a 29. I wish I'd saved that one for
Yes,
later.
that's absolutely a hit.
Whoa!
I was practicing in private.
Brutal. Yeah.
Nobody understands an elder who wants to learn abyssal.
You are correct. I do
What
not
a
understand. That's 10 points of necrotic damage as I cut
Holy
into
shit.
him.
Okay. Describe your hit.
I've begun to imagine like the Dawn's Edge, like come like sneaking up and then just coming in for like a like shoulder wrenching like shrug slash. But when Dawn Edge's blade hits, it like just like sinks in and like whips out, and kind of like the flesh just kind of crumbles in where it's gone. It hasn't really cut it.
Oof.
It's just begun to necrosy.
Yeah, as you sink in Dawn's Edge, you can actually hear their voice inside your head, and they're like, "Ugh, he tastes foul. I have never felt such evil before. Kill him, Artemis!" And as you like draw back Dawn's edge there, you hear like this come from Elder Horndye, and they kind of like wheel around towards you, and they're like, "How did you get in here?" But you have the second attack if you want to take it.
Oh, I sure do. That is also a 29.
Oh my god.
Absolutely a hit.
Savage.
And that
Artemis
is,
out here committing war crimes.
Yeah, right?
For real.
I get my hands dirty. The kingdom stays clean. That's the job.
Well,
He is the super janitor.
Oof.
Yeah,
Can I
that's
get that on a shirt or something? Can I buy that on a
Magiccutioner.
cozy?
and what did you say?
A super janitor.
The super janitor.
the magic
God,
user
we
and the
need
super
t-shirts.
janitor.
Our disgusting nobody wants in boy band is forming.
Yeah. Absolutely. That's a further 8 points of necrotic damage, by the way.
Okay, describe your hit again.
This time, just like Artemis like locks eyes with him. The question is, Horndye, for what did you betray the kingdom? And I take a slash right across his chest.
Yeah, you make purchase again. That necrosis is just bleeding through, turning their skin black. They have these kind of like robes on. It splits and singes away as the little bit of fire damage digs in there. And they're like, "I have my reasons that you cannot begin to fathom, Starcaller. My people are done being your filthy cleaners of this city. We will be strong, wise again with Sargua's help. Die!" Everybody roll for initiative.
Oh shit.
Sephel, you are up.
Oh,
First
shit.
in the initiative.
Okay.
Next will be Artomis.
I am going to. It's an oldie but a goodie. Nobody's seen it in a while, but we can actually. No, I'm lying to you. We see this thing all the time. Can Mr. Horndye go ahead and make an intelligence saving throw?
All right. I'll roll
Fel's
your
gonna pop
intelligence
out
save.
from around the stalagmite, and just cast his brain, his consciousness forward into Horndye's head, trying to shatter something in there.
I got a 17.
17 is exactly the DC. So he's only going to take half damage, and he doesn't have disadvantage or Bane, on the next saving throw, but he does take total of 4 points of psychic damage.
Okay. Artemis, you kind of see Horndye just like flinch in front of you a little bit as he takes this psychic hit. And they kind of they pull their staff in front of them again, going,
I see there is one of you with some magics about them.
Is that the end of your turn, Sephel?
I am going to duck back behind the stalagmite, but yes, that is my turn.
All right, Artemis, you are up. Horndye still stands before you.
Not for long. I am gonna get a little spicy here. I'm gonna use my bonus action to cast Divine Favor on myself.
Okay.
Nice.
And then I'm gonna take my attack.
Sure.
That's a 28.
Yep.
Keeping
Good
that
Lord,
dice.
man.
I like that dice a lot.
What's your plus to hit? Is
Jesus.
it plus 9?
No, it's a plus 10 with Dawn's Edge.
Holy shit.
I was gonna say you gotta be rolling 20s, but
me
nice.
like you, the magic weapon.
So I'm sorry,
Yeah.
you rolled 2 19s and an 18 in succession.
Yeah.
Get
Damn.
good.
Yeah.
Good. Keep doing
Um,
that.
That's a 9 points of necrotic, 3 points of radiant, double triple special.
Okay, so 12 points there. All right.
All right.
You dig in through him, and he reels back, and he kind of rights himself again.
What is this cursed weapon?
This is your end. And I'm gonna come in for another strike. How's he looking, by the way?
He's seeming decently hurt.
Cool. That's a 22.
Yep. Good Lord. I didn't realize you had a plus 10 to hit. Good Lord.
Yeah, sure helps. That is 10 points of necrotic, 1 point of radiant, 11 total.
All right. He almost falls down to one knee and pushes himself back up with his staff.
I will pry it from your cold, dead hands. Don't you worry.
You will bow to me.
Ooh.
Red flag. Red flag.
This wasn't part of the plan.
Nope. Artemis doesn't get his villain arc until book 5.
Yeah. All the good old Artie.
All right. Now it is Horndye's turn. And he is going to... Yeah, he's going to thrust out his hand as he yells, "Beacon!" and his voice kind of sounds like a thunderclap. And I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay. Ooh. The streak ends. 7.
You fail, and you are thrown back 15 feet in the direction of your friends as he casts Thunder Wave.
Ooh. Shit.
And you take, almost max damage. You take 13 points of thunder damage. 10 feet, not 15 feet. Sorry about that.
All good.
And then they are going to retreat a little bit back towards the water's edge, keeping facing forward towards the rest of you all as you are in the southwesterly area. And that is their turn. Next up is Weth, who is going to start sprinting forward, just going around to the east. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. They are a little slowed because they frenzied before. And then they're going to double move. 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, 35. And they get all the way to there. Next up in the order is Scylla.
Okay. I don't really want to leave Sephel alone. I don't know what's gonna be popping out here. I mean, can I just ask, like, I don't see anything else moving in this room right now. What about the guys that were behind us? Yeah. 3.
That's okay. You hear noise coming from the holes and tunnels above you, and you realize the grung are coming, and they're not being quiet. Sounds like they're above you guys in various locations.
Okay, so they're above us, and they're coming. Okay, I would like to move up 10 feet next to Sephel.
Okay.
So Scylla's going to sprint forward, and I want to take the dodge action.
Okay. Kind of.
And end my turn.
All right. Next up is Stool, who sees the two of you guys there. Weth has kind of made this upside down or L kind of formation going around the pool, and they're going to move 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, kind of getting up in front of you, Sephel, and Scylla with about 10 feet worth of space between you guys, and kind of takes up a defensive position. And that is their turn, as they are also going to prep with the dodge action. And from the tunnels above, you guys hear that wet slapping, and you hear that. And from the ceiling drop 4 of these albino-like grung creatures. They have spears and bows as they appear, and one's pretty close to Artomis to the north, one is between Horndai, Weth, and Artomis, one is to the south, kind of between Weth and Scylla, and then one is near the column closest to Sephel and Stool. And the one that is to the northwest of Sephel is going to... It's going to fire their short bow at you. They drop down, and immediately as they're coming down from the ceiling, they fire. Wow, that is a natural 1. So they like go and they slip and fall, and they actually shatter their short bow. So they can't use that anymore. However, they are going to move 5, 10, 15 and get right up next to you. The one to the north of Artomis is going to charge at you. And is going to... Yeah, this is what they're going to do. They're going to try and jump and grapple onto you.
Ooh.
So let's make a strength contest.
Let's see. Am I able to use acrobatics instead, or is that strength v strength?
Strength v strength on this one.
Okay. All right.
I got a 15.
I got a 6.
Okay, so this grung, not necessarily trying to like pin you in any sort of way, jumps onto you, and they have their dagger raised. However, you can feel their kind of slimy, gross skin make contact with you, and I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
All right. Let's see. That is a natural 1 for a 3.
Oof. As you make contact with their skin, you become poisoned. This is very poison dart frog-esque, and they are going to try and stab you with their dagger. But don't worry, because that's a natural 2, so they don't manage to make purchase in there, but you are now feeling a bit weaker as it grapples onto you. The one that is between Horndai and Weth is going to charge at Weth. Similar situation, going to try to hop on them. Strength contest. Weth has that in the bag. They just kind of take their sword and swat down the grung. The grung is going to try and throw their dagger at them. And that is a hit, and they are going to do 5 points of damage to Weth as this dagger sinks into them. And then lastly, the one to the south between Weth and Scylla is going to fire their... actually... They're going... You see them throw out their hand, and all about Sephel, Scylla, and Stool's feet, these kind of gross, slimy, thorny vines start to appear as they cast... spike growth. So let me get a token that can represent that.
That was the one to the right?
Yes,
Bottom,
the one to
right,
your right.
south, east.
Where's my grung token? I'm gonna put another grung token between all of you because that's just the center. But that is not an actual enemy, and it is a 20-foot, not 220, just 20-foot radius. I'm going to make it yellow. So all through their spike growth, it becomes difficult terrain. When a creature moves into or within the area, it takes 2d4 piercing damage for every 5 feet it travels. And so that is the end of the Grung's turn. We are now back at the top of the order with Sephel.
Okay. I am going to... I don't have a whole lot to play around with here. These guys probably aren't. Well, no, actually, saves are my friend. Yeah, these guys probably aren't super intelligent. I'm going to go ahead and mind sliver this guy right next to me. So, intelligence saving throw, please.
That is a... That's a solid 12. That is a fail.
Yep, fails, so he takes 7 points of psychic damage and minus a d4 to their next save.
Okay. Yeah, you hit them in there. Not doing so great. Let me put a little marker on them to remember.
Okay.
All right, is there anything you want to do with your turn that's left?
I'm going to... being pincered up here is not great, but no, I'm not going to move or anything. So yeah, that is my turn.
Okay. Artemis, you are up. You're now being grappled by this horrible little grung on your back.
Ooh, gross. I'm gonna go ahead and take a kind of trying to shrug him off me and slash at him with Dawn's Edge.
Okay.
And is that attack at disadvantage per poison?
Yes. Can't really give you double disadvantage because they're grappling you, but it's enough.
Yep. An 11 won't do it because that's another natural 1.
Yeah, nope, that won't do it.
Alright, but I'll slash again. That's much better. That's a 25.
That is absolutely a hit. It's on you, holding on as you throw your Dawn's Edge around, trying to cleave into it.
That's I bet that's 10 points of radiant. Sorry, say again. That is 10 points of necrotic, 4 points of radiant, 14 total. Right. For anyone keeping track at home, I did make my concentration check from that damage last turn.
Nice. Okay. Thank you for being honest. All right. Yeah. This grung on your back now has this horrible gash within itself, and it's not happy. Is that your turn?
How heavy is this guy? Is he pretty heavy or is he pretty light?
He's pretty lightweight.
Cool. Then I'm gonna take the opportunity to close. I'm gonna just walk with him on my back and close with this big guy again.
Horned Eye. Okay.
Yeah.
You get up there. The little guy's just like trying to like rip you back, but he doesn't have enough mass to really do it. Okay.
I am inevitable.
Next up is Horned Eye. What does Horned Eye want to do? They want to... Yeah, can they do that? I can. All right. He is going to disengage step back a couple feet, and then is going to make a standing leap where he launches 25 feet into the air, landing all the way over here, away from you. And that is going to be his turn. He's like,
I understand your tricks with your dastardly axe. I will not be caught by it again. You cannot stop what is coming. Sulcua will bless us with their presence.
and next up is Weth. And Weth is going to take 3 attacks upon the grung in front of them. First swing with the sword, natural 20. Okay, so we want to do the rule that we haven't been very good at keeping, where we add the total of the highest die or whatever.
Yeah, so it's you roll dice as normal,
Yep.
and then instead of like doubling, you just take the max of what the second dice would. I'm explaining this terribly. If you roll a d12, because that's easy normally.
Yeah.
You would roll a d12 and then you would just add 12.
Great. Okay. Well, Weth got a. What was that? That is 19 points of damage as the sword just skewers through the belly of this grung. And the second swing with the hammer, natural 2, misses. The grung kind of like tugs the sword that is still skewered within it to the side, causing Weth to miss with their hammer. But they pull the sword out and are going to swing again. That is definitely a hit, not a critical. And does actually beheads the grung that stands before them. And that one is now dead.
Aha! Well done, Wealth.
And then Weth is going to start moving towards Horndeye. So 5, 15, because they're moving diagonally to the northwest. And they get here. All right, and that is Weth's turn. Scylla, you are up. You are surrounded by these slimy thorns cast by this grung to the east. You have one that is currently on Sephel. What do you do?
Yeah, I'm gonna move. How many? I want to move and attack the one that's by Sephel. I think I take some spike.
Yes, you're going to take 2d4 piercing damage. You take 5 points of piercing damage.
Okay. Okay. And then the grung that's next to Sephel, I will take an attack.
Yes. Do it. Murder.
26.
Yeah, that's a hit.
Okay. And that's 10 piercing.
Okay. You skewer it through with your trident, ripping it apart. It's one of its arms looks kind of like broken, and it looks to be hanging kind of loosely from where you skewered.
Okay, so she steps forward and skewers, and then with her trident, she wants to hold him skewered and try to do a bonus action shove. So I'll go down. I will roll athletics.
Yeah.
Ooh, nat 20.
Yeah, no, I ain't got nothing. You knock him. You knock him.
Okay.
He moves, correct? 5 feet?
Sorry, I wanted to drop him down to the ground. So I guess it's
okay.
not a shove, it's
That's fine. It's trip. I got you.
yeah. Thank you.
Put the little snail on him. All right, so he's prone, and yeah.
My second attack.
Oh god. Yep. Oh yeah, because shove's a bonus action for you.
Yeah. That's not great. It's a 10.
That is a miss. It manages to kind of roll away from the trident strike.
Damn.
All right. You still got movement. You moving at all?
No, that's it.
Dang it. All right, next up is Stool. Stool is just going to soak up the damage and is going to march towards the grung that casts the spell. So he's going to move to the southeast. 5, 10, 15, and that's as far as they can get because this is difficult terrain, so their movement is halved, and they cannot reach them. So that is the end of Stool's turn. You can see them, their arms are outstretched, and they're like, I'm gonna get you! How dare you hurt my friends! And next up are the Grung, and the one upon Artomis is going to take 2 dagger strikes at you. First one is probably not gonna hit. Yeah, 14.
Nope.
Okay. Next one is a 4, so that those 2 daggers just miss as they're trying to get into you, and you can see that there is poison that is starting to drip off this dagger, so it's especially bad if you get hit. I forgot to do that before, but that's fine because I have so many things going on. The Grung that casts a spell, so to the south, that's 10 feet away from Stool, is actually going to move up and try to take 2 strikes with their dagger against Stool. First one is a natural 1. I can't roll tonight, guys. Next one is 11, which also misses Stool, so... Or actually, it probably sinks in, but it just has no purchase into Stool's weird form. Next up is the prone Grung, who is going to stand. And that is basically all their movement because they are also in this effect, and is going to try and strike twice at Sephel with their dagger. So first one is a 16 to hit.
Does hit.
Okay. You take 4 points of piercing damage, and you take 5 points of poison damage. Second strike.
I take 2 points of poison damage because I'm resistant.
I cannot roll tonight. That is another natural 1.
Get
So 2 swings and misses with this Grung here that you guys are kind of stomping on. And we're back up at the top of the order. Round 3. Start of round 3 with Sephel.
Okay. Horn dies. He's being sort of dodgy, and I'm not a fan. This crossed off. Yeah, this guy's dead next to me, right?
No, that wasn't even a live one. That is just so I had something I could use the radius of the spike growth that surrounds you. Yeah,
gotcha.
That's not a creature.
Okay. I'm going to... Well, Horn is moving around a lot, so I'm going to duck out. I know I am at half movement in that.
And every 5 feet of movement you move, you will take damage.
Okay. Well, I'm going to move the 5 feet just to duck outside of the... Just so I can see beyond, so I will take that damage.
Okay. You take 6 points of piercing damage.
Ooh, okay. This is a bit spicy, and I'm going to cast... Just making sure. I think I spaced this out right. Okay, cool. I'm going to cast Magnify Gravity. A little bit... This was the oldie but the goodie mentioned before. I'm going to center it a little to the left of Horndye. So my friends do not get caught up in it.
What's the radius?
It is a 10-foot radius.
Okay. I'm just putting another token there. Make it purple. Okay. So what is that? A Constitution saving throw for Horndye?
It is a Constitution saving throw. Yes.
Oh my god! I need to switch up my die. That's a 2. So
that
nothing I
is
have
a
is gonna...
failure.
Great.
So he's going to take
good stuff.
2d8 force damage.
Oof.
I haven't used this one in a while. Oh my god, I still roll like balls. So that is 8 points of force damage.
Okay. Do they get knocked prone?
No, their speed is halved until the end of their next turn.
Okay. He feels this crushing pressure around them, and they turn towards the south.
I see you, and I will deal with you shortly.
Okay. Is that the end of your turn, my friend?
That is my turn.
Okay. Great. Artemis, you are up.
Alright, I am gonna go ahead and ignore my little backpack buddy, and I'm gonna close with Horn Die, and take a disadvantaged swing.
Yes, please.
That is a 12.
That is a miss.
And I'll come again. That is a 18.
That is just a hit.
Alright. If it makes you feel better, that poison saved you from a nat 20. So close to glory.
Gotta do something to keep you guys grounded.
Alright, that's 12 points of necrotic, 3 points of radiant for a total of 15.
He is like down on his knees now with the crushing pressure and this massive chunk you just dug into him. He looks up to you.
You think this is the end, don't you, Starcaller?
It is the end for you, vile creature.
Strike me down and I will become stronger than you can possibly imagine.
Hey, you guys are playing around with a lot of copywritten quotes. I'm not comfortable being a part of this.
No, he doesn't say that, but he stretches out his arms and he goes,
Dispatch me then.
Well, Wef, don't leave him waiting.
oh, you're gonna leave it to Weth?
Oh, well, I already went to attack, so I have no choice.
Oh, that's right, you did.
He's
My
flavor
apologies.
passing the kill.
Yeah.
Well, it is Horndie's turn, and he sees kind of the hesitation in you, and he goes,
No matter, I shall do it myself. My peons, now's the time.
and he like pulls out a dagger, and he draws it across his throat and goes,
Thagua, bless me with your power.
Red flags. Red flags.
and you see
Everything is a red flag.
the grung around you start speaking in Abyssal as they do the same things, and Horndie stands and falls back into the water, where you see all the masses of the tadpoles closing in, and you just hear these screams, and it sounds like the crunching of bones. And then it's silent for a moment. And then...
Did we win?
Jeez.
And then things start to get a little weird. As you see what looks like some kind of mass starting to grow underneath the slime in the greater pool beyond. As you had seen their body get pulled back through the waves. And then you see these two large spikes starting to come up, along with two very large red eyes, as this gargantuan figure emerges. They appear as this absolutely massive horned-faced toad with spikes running down their back, massive teeth. You see the faces of what look like tadpoles masked on their back, just spewing forth their little mouths opening, and poison seems to be running down, and this massive roar. And that's where we'll end it today.
Oh man, is that the time? We're overdue for another check-in with you fine listeners. Thanks as always for being here right up to the outro. We really appreciate that. You will never believe this, but we recently hit our 1-year podcast anniversary and 3,500 downloads. It's truly been a blast. We're having just a grand old time, and we look forward to another 50 episodes to come. Hopefully you join us for those next 50. That being said, we do have an exciting announcement. We have launched a coffee page. Yes, that's KO-FI page. There's no pressure to do so, But if you want to toss a coin to your witchers, that's us. You can head to ko-fi.com/themadness-table. All donations will go first toward our monthly operating costs, which include our podcast hosting software, items like that. But our ultimate dream is to be able to upgrade our setups, to be able to offer live stream recording sessions to get that sweet, sweet video content to accompany our audio. If you're not able to donate, but you want to support the show, we would just adore you if you left that 5-star review in whatever podcatcher you're currently listening in, or if you just spread the word and tell a friend. We would be eternally grateful for that support. So that's it. Until next time, when...
Madness